into the shop today and saw this shadow gray metallic C8 Corvette. Now I wanted to show you guys this car so that we could talk about the fitment and we could talk about the suspension as well. We did a red C8 Corvette, probably, I think it's a little bit over a month ago by now, and it blew up all over Instagram. I've got literally dozens of leads of C8 guys that want the same exact setup. It was an Anarchy AN10s. They were finished and polished. It did a 20-inch front and a 21-inch rear fitment. And for this car here, we're doing the same exact fitment. So it's gonna be 20 by 9 in the front and 21 by 12 and a half in the rear, which is both bigger in diameter and wider than the factory wheel options. The only difference is that this is gonna be a different Anarchy wheel model, which I'll show you in a little bit. But I also want to talk about the suspension because a lot of people asked us about that red Corvette on how we got it lowered. So basically, on these new C8s, you can lower it just a little bit. There's factory adjustments with the factory coilovers. But if you have the front end lift, then you will not be able to lower it because the front replaces the coilover with a hydraulic lift system. So if you have the car option with that, it's very, very difficult to lower at this time. There's no options available that I'm aware of. But if you don't have the front end lift option, then you're able to lower both the rear and the front so that the fitment looks a little bit better. Now let's go over and check out what wheels from Anarchy this customer has chosen. So this is the Anarchy S3 X4. We released a video on a 488 Spider that had the same exact wheel, but the color combination on this is a little bit different. So what we have here is a polished smoke finish and a brush clear center. Now it's gonna match the color of the Corvette just a little bit, but it's not gonna be a direct match. Now people ask us, can we match the center face or the outer lip exactly to the car? Yes, you can. However, that would require a PPG color code, and it's a paint instead of a powder coat. And the problem with paint is that it doesn't last very long. So if we took the PPG color code from this Corvette and we applied it on this lip, it probably would last on the car maybe 2 months max. But with a powder coat, it has a clear coat in it and it will last a ton longer. So this is gonna be a rear wheel. As you can see, you've got some really nice concavity to it. On the previous generation C7 Corvettes, it was very difficult to get concavity just because of the high offsets that General Motors used on the vehicle. But on this car, the good news is that we can get some really nice concavity to it. So this is a great looking 3-piece wheel. Its 3-piece wheels are traditionally they're heavier than a 1-piece counterpart. So this wheel isn't the lightest. However, I just did some weights over there with the factory wheels, and these are actually more lightweight than the factory wheels, despite the fact that they're bigger in diameter and that they're also wider. So that's another good added plus to these Anarchy performance wheels. $66.4. Bro, there's no way that those Anarchies are gonna weigh more. Have you felt how heavy this thing is? So on the factory rears, we have 66.4. And now we're putting a bigger diameter wheel and a wider wheel with a wider tire. I'm gonna say 62.6. 64.8. So we shed 2 pounds by having a wider wheel, wider tire, and bigger diameter. So just to recap, you guys saw the weights of the Anarchy 3-piece wheels and the OEM Corvette wheels. Now the OEM Corvette wheels are 19 by 8.5 for the front and 20 by 11 in the rear. For the tires, you got the 245s, and then in the rears, you got the 305s. With the Anarchies, we went up an inch in diameter on both the front and the rear. So the front is a 20 by 9, and the rear was a 21 by 12.5. So it was an inch and a half wider than the factory wheels. And despite all of that, the Anarchy wheels still weigh less than the factory wheels. So that's another reason why you go with performance wheels.
All right, guys, we just finished our 5th Corvette C8. This is on the new Anarchy Series 3 X4s. Smoked polished lips with matte brushed clear centers. 2120 Michelin Pilot Sport PS4s, 325, 25, 21s, 245, 30, 20s in the front. Lowered it on the factory suspension, as David showed you earlier. David couldn't be here. He's getting engaged today, I think. It's truly a different car than what it used to be. I mean, the new Corvette is just amazing. We can't wait to see the all-wheel drive twin turbo version that's coming out. I believe it's called the Zota. It's gonna be amazing. Obviously, we're on the list for it. Hopefully we can get it soon, 3 years or something. But for now, we got the C8 and it is an awesome monster. Stay tuned. Thank you for coming to Wheels Boutique.